Check, check. Mic check. Can y'all hear us? Any audio coming? Let us know.
Excuse me.
Make sure our audio is working this time.
Allergies here have been insane, so I'm really sorry about that. But the weather's been beautiful. I hope that the weather's nice where everyone else is, and some of the winter mess is melting.
Clearing up.
Yes, and you all are getting some sunshine, but
if you're in LA, you're probably burning up right now.
Yeah.
It's hot, y'all. But we're not gonna complain.
We're thankful for the sunshine. It's been great. It's been good. Lots of outdoor time, which means the allergies have been crazy. But thank you everyone for joining us on a Friday. I know everyone probably wants to get out and about, so we appreciate your time. Today we're gonna keep it simple and quick. We want to talk about the Run It Back challenge that we're currently in. We are finishing up week 3. And then we want to talk about the Fresh Start Challenge and the Solin winners, and then also look ahead at some fun, exciting things we have coming as well.
A lot to talk about. So drop some fires in the chat. Hit those fire emojis if you're doing a Run It Back challenge right now. Right now you're on week 3, which is the halfway point. And like we always say, this is the most important week for a lot of people. Statistically, we've been doing challenges for the last 5+ years, and week 3 is the hardest week to get through. This is the week where people even fall off. They get deep in, like, not motivated. Things come up to where it's just hard to stay motivated to keep going on to finish the challenge. So if you are able to make it through week 3, chances are you're going to finish this challenge pretty strong. So we want to applaud everyone who were able to kind of get to this week. And if you weren't able to get through due to whatever circumstance, keep going, right? That's what this program is all about, right? Just because you don't make it through a certain week, that's what a program is all about. You can always fall back to the previous week or restart the week and then continue on from there. Don't feel like you're a failure just because you weren't able to complete a week. That's one of the biggest things too. People don't complete a week and then they just stop, which is the worst thing you can do, right? So the point of a program is to pick up wherever you left off.
You have that data of the tracked rate, weights and reps and sets that you've been doing.
Correct. And then also don't feel like you're behind. There are people still in week 2 right now, and there's some buffer room at the end of this challenge. So when the challenge ends, that doesn't mean like it cuts off, right? You still have some room to catch up in that following week to where you can still submit your progress photos and whatnot as well. So
and someone actually just asked, is it too late to start? And someone else said, I missed the challenge, I was unwell. It is never too late to start the program, ever. The only thing is, if we're running a challenge, there's usually a start date of submitting your photos, and that might have passed, but the program is still live. The program is still there. We have so many people that, especially after the New Year challenge, it's tough because it's flu and cold season, right? So we have so many people that got sick at the end of the last challenge, and they might not have been able to start when we started the challenge. But even though we're on week 3, some people are just starting week 1. Some people are finishing up week 2. You do the program at your own pace for that reason. Of course, it's best to do it as structured in terms of day 1 through 4 in each week, but that is more so that you don't feel like you have to play catch up. If you're not in a rush to complete it in that 6 weeks, go, like he said, the program will be there when we finish the challenge. So if at week 6 you're still finishing up week 4, your next week will be week 5, and then week 6. There's no rush to have the whole program done when we finish the challenge. We want you to complete it in what fits best for you.
And also this week was the AMRAP week. So if y'all haven't seen, if you've never done that workout before, it's a beast. It's pretty tough, but we like to use it as a benchmark to kind of help you understand how much stronger you've gotten. And honestly, it gives you a benchmark of like what you're capable of. I know a lot of people probably went into that workout like, I don't know if I can do this. It's intimidating, and it was hard, but you got through it and you felt good about yourself. So in 3 weeks, we will be repeating this workout again, but we want you to match or exceed what you did in this week. So be sure to write down what you did for this week, and then in week 6, we'll love to hear how you did on the AMRAP.
Yeah, and you'll be shocked at how much you progressed, whether it's in your weight and the reps that you got and the time. Like it's always fun for us to read how people are like, oh my goodness, I didn't even realize I used 20 pounds hevier, right?
Exactly.
So it is fun to see, and definitely share those results with us too.
Let us know. So that's pretty much all we want to cover week 3. If y'all have any questions about our programs, challenges, if you're within the challenge, drop them right here. We're going to do a quick little question and answers toward the end of this live stream, just to make sure you're all caught up and good to go.
Absolutely. Cool. So that kind of covers it for the Run It Back challenge. Again, it is not too late to start. If you are curious about the challenge itself, we will put that in the description for you. And again, if you're not already on the app, your first week is free. It is free. So you can try out the challenge, try out that first week. And if the app's not for you, you can cancel at any time. So there's literally zero risk to trying out the program in the app. So next up, anything else on?
I think that pretty much covers it. If you have any questions about the running back challenge, whether you want to get started or you're doing it right now, drop your questions in the chat. We'll be sure to get to it.
Exactly. And then next we want to talk about the Fresh Start Challenge, which is what we completed prior to the Run It Back. So
back it up.
Similar to the Run It Back, we hosted that on our Juice and Toya app and on Solin Stream app as well. And we already announced let me backtrack. There were 2 separate platforms, and on our Juice and Toya app we had our own separate winners, and then there were winners on Solin as well that Solin themselves chose. So we did not choose Solin winners. And with Solin, you had multiple different creators and trainers coming together to present programs. So all of the winners, it wasn't just like Juice and Toya programs.
I think it was over 5,000 submissions,
which is amazing. So so the Solin winners were just announced on Solin's platform, on their Instagrams and socials. So congratulations to all of the winners. I mean, some amazing transformations through that. And then, like I said, we already announced our Juice and Toya winners at the end of the challenge as well. And even though we didn't have any Juice and Toya winners on the Solin app, I feel like maybe we say this every challenge, but truly we were blown away by the transformations, not just on the Solin app, but also on the Juice and Toya. I think this was definitely one of our best programs and challenges in terms of people staying consistent, being committed. Like he said, week 3, we always see drop off, and this is by far the
most
lowest.
People that got through week 3.
Exactly, and the most people that completed. This was the most submissions we've had on Solin and also on Juice and Toya app. The most that we've ever had in a challenge, which is incredible, because to us that just shows us that, people are being more committed to their lifestyle changes. And to finish a program, we say this every time too, to finish a program is hard work. As you can see in here, people get sick, people have things come up, vacations come up. So to stay committed and dedicated to a 6-week program and finish, that in itself is a huge accomplishment. So all of that to say, even though on the Solin platform, we were so excited to see a lot of our submissions, have a chance to win some of that prize money. And even though none of the submissions did, if you go back to our socials, you will see the hard work speak for itself. I mean, the transformations were incredible. So we want to make sure to choose some of our own Solin winners in the same way that we did with the Juice and Toya app. So this week we're going to look at the submissions that we have and choose some of our winners for ourselves. So look out on the Solin community feed. We'll be announcing some of those winners next week, because we want to make sure that hard work does not go unnoticed.
So again, if you did the Fresh Start Challenge on Solin, we already chose our Juice and Toya app winners. We had 2 winners on there, but if you did it on Solin, we didn't have any winners in the Solin from what Solin picked, but we're going to pick our own personal winners to give out some cash prizes too. So look out in that community feed. Go back to that community feed on Solin, the Fresh Start Challenge community feed, and then we're going to announce it there. We're going to look at those submissions this week and make an announcement by this Sunday. So we'll be able to contact you directly. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So that kind of wraps up our Fresh Start as well. And then the fun thing. We have been every year, if you've been following us for a while, and I say that, but there's so many people that are new to Juice and Toya, which still blows my mind. It's so incredible. But we do a Summer Ready Challenge every year. And this is actually the first time that we did a New Year challenge and then hosted a challenge right after.
Yeah,
so
we usually don't do a challenge in between Fresh Start and Summer Ready, but we wanted to give y'all just something to kind of get you to the Summer Ready challenge. You know what I mean? So, sorry.
No, go ahead. I mean, Summer Ready, it's, what is this? The 3rd, 4th?
This 5th? Might be number 4, I believe. This is our
23,
4th.
24, 25. I think this is our 4th Summer Ready challenge.
Might be 5th.
Might be the 5th. We've done at least 3 or 4 Summer Ready challenges, so this is either the 4th or 5th one that we've done, and they are so much fun. So the Fresh Start and Run It Back challenge have been focused on strength and conditioning. With the Summer Ready, what our goal is, it's a fat loss program. It's no sugarcoating. It's a fat loss program. We are going to shed some body fat and look at the muscle that we've seen or that we've built over these last 2 programs. And one thing I want to say is, we get a lot of questions on being toned. How can I be toned? How can I be toned? But being toned is just losing body fat to see the muscle that you've built. So a lot of times if you don't have the muscle under there, you can lose some weight and some body fat, but there's no definition, right? And so that's what the Fresh Start and New Year challenge is. What we wanted to do is like build that strength and that muscle foundation. So now when you get to the Summer Ready Challenge and you shed that body fat, all that strength and conditioning that you've done in the last 2 challenges, all that hard work is going to show off.
Yeah, so we pretty much spend the first 3 to 4 months is just basically like a strength phase, building muscle, getting some conditioning, and as y'all can see from those progress photos, you can still lose fat. I think a lot of the big misconception is doing strength training, I'm going to bulk up or gain weight. That's not the case. Building muscle doesn't mean you're going to gain weight. Yes, you will gain some weight, like body composition wise, but if you're shredding fat at the same time, usually the net of that is a loss, right?
And so, even if you gain weight, you're not gaining body fat.
Exactly.
Right? That is
if you're going to gain weight, gain some muscle.
Gain some muscle.
You know what I mean? So usually the first 3 to 4 months is all about building that muscle, getting some good conditioning, and then the last program that we usually do in the front half of the year is the Summer Ready Challenge, which is all about shredding that body fat. So this program is more focused on, there's still going to be some strength and muscle building within this program, but it's going to have a lot more conditioning. It's going to have a lot more high intensity work that's focused on fat burn. So if your goal is to just shred off some fat, if you got some vacations for the summer, if you got let us know in the chat if you got a summer birthday you're prepping for, right? We're gonna get you right with this 6-week Summer Ready Challenge, and this is crucial because each and every day, just like any other one of our programs, each and every day matters, right? If you're trying to cut body fat, you got to make sure number one, you're getting those workouts in, you're burning those calories, right? You're building that muscle, but at the same time, and at the calorie, I was gonna get to that. Nutrition is huge, which we're gonna give you some. A little bit more insight with nutrition, because it might be more important than doing the actual workouts for this program. So we're going to give you some information, we're going to give you some insight, and we're going to stay on top of you to make sure that your nutrition is on point so that you can cut some body fat, because we've seen some of our biggest transformations, real transformations, just from this Summer Ready Challenge. So we'll have a solid date for you all in a couple of weeks. Stay tuned. Be sure to sign up for our email list. Go to onebodyla.com. If you don't know what that is our business. onebodyla.com. There should be an area where you can enter your email, and we're going to send you some information, honestly, within the next couple of weeks about the Summer Ready Challenge.
We've already been working on it, and it's so much fun.
It's our favorite program of the year, honestly. And honestly, we like to be a part of it too. We're going to show you our transformations as well for this challenge as well. And y'all like, y'all don't have any body fat to lose. We got a little bit now. We got some body fat to lose. So we're super excited about it, and we can't wait to get y'all started with the Summer Ready Challenge.
Yeah, so that's kind of our spiel for today. We just wanted to kind of wrap up Fresh Start, talk about the Run It Back and how that's going. But if you have any questions, please drop them. We'll spend a few minutes answering questions as well.
One more thing. Are my beats over there? Nope. Okay. It's okay. We're doing a giveaway. If you haven't seen on the thumbnail, we're doing a giveaway in this live stream for Solin and the J&T App. So if you're on doing the Run It Back Challenge on Solin or the J&T App, we're doing a giveaway. We're giving away some beats, power beats to earbuds. Favorite earbuds of all time. We use them at the gym. We use them around the house when Toya's cleaning and she just doesn't want to be bothered. She puts in her beats and she gets a lot of work done. So that's something that, one thing that inspires us to move is music. Like when we go into the gym or whenever I just need a pick me up or just some inspiration, it's something about music that gets us going. So that's why we love our beats, we love our earbuds. I don't know anybody who can't work out without music. And honestly, when it comes to our follow-along workouts, we try to prioritize having good music within the videos, because we know a lot of you, it's already hard enough to work out.
Yep.
So if you have some good vibes and some good beats to kind of get you going, it helps a lot. So in Solin, the prompt is to be entered to win in Solin in the community feed or on the J&T App community feed. Let us know what inspires you to move, and this can be anything. This can be music, this can be just having kids, right? Just wanting to be healthy for your family, like whatever it is to you. Be sure to comment what that is, and then hashtag Run It Back giveaway. Okay, so let us know what inspires you to move. Write it in those community feeds and hashtag Run It Back giveaway.
Yes.
Y'all got it?
Yes.
All right, cool.
All right, let's get to some. We'll also choose the winner on Sunday.
Sunday.
Yes.
This Sunday coming up. Before we make that week 4 motivation post, we'll post it on there on Sunday.
Yeah.
Cool.
Beautiful.
All right.
Let's get to some questions again. We'll take a few minutes. If you have some questions, drop them below. This one isn't a question, but I do want to talk about this because I said I was going to make a video on this, and I think I need to soon. But I saw Kim said muscle weighs more than fat. So that one I want to address because muscle doesn't weigh more than fat. Muscle is more dense than fat.
I'm sure that's what she means.
Yes. So and what I want to address here too is like that misconception is so easy to think because when you build muscle, you do weigh more. You weigh more. But the really important thing to think about here is with muscle being more dense than fat, it takes up less space. So just because the weight went up in the scale, if you think about a pound of muscle and a pound of body fat, they're both a pound, right? So a pound is still a pound. Body fat is going to take up more space. That muscle is going to take up less space. So when people think, oh, the scale went up because muscle weighs more than fat, it's not that muscle weighs more than fat. It's that muscle is still weight. And if you add 2 pounds of muscle, you're still adding 2 pounds of the scale. Yeah. But they say, oh, I feel better. My clothes fit better. That's because you took up less space, right? And so at the end of the Fresh Start Challenge, we saw a lot of that where people were like, I didn't lose a lot of weight, but I feel so much better. I look so much better. And that's because the muscle takes up less space than the body fat does, so you can be smaller. So that is one thing I want people to remember, especially as we go into the summer ready, is if you don't see a change on the scale, but you see a major change in your body, just remember that the muscle is your friend, right? And to not really focus too much on the scale or how much the muscle weighs or how much body fat. If you're seeing a difference in your composition, you are doing a right thing. And if the scale isn't reflecting that, it's likely that you put on some muscle, which is so good because that's going to increase your metabolism and increase the rate at which you're burning body fat, which usually is the goal. I don't know if we've come across really anyone that wants to lose weight, but they want to lose muscle and water, but not body fat, right? The goal is usually I want to lose body fat. So just keep that in mind, especially going into summer ready. That's where we see it a lot is I think the scale can be such a dictator, even for myself or even for Julia. Sometimes like we get so honed in on the scale, but if you're looking at your body composition, that tells so much more than the scale does, for sure.
And I think when a lot of people stop worrying about the number on the scale, that's when people really start to unlock like real results and losing body fat, because you're not worried about a number, you're just worried about, like if I told you straight up, look, if you build more muscle, you have a like the rate in which you burn fat is a lot higher. If people really understood that concept, a lot of people would just burn a lot more fat and they'll focus on strength training and building more muscle. You're not going to get bulky, right? And most of you aren't really lifting heavy enough to get. You got to lift heavy weights. Like I'm talking 50, 60, 70.
And
like,
eat in a caloric surplus.
You got to eat a lot more than you think. And a lot of quality food. So don't feel like, and for a lot of you, if you want to be toned, if that's your look, like tone means building muscle. That's what that means. Like just, if anybody tells you otherwise, they don't know what you're talking about. If you want a toned look, if you want the arms, the cuts, you have to build muscle. You know what I mean? So.
But no, Kim, that I just want to bring that up because I remember when I was in college, one of my classes, I remember saying, I'll never forget this, and this is why I talk about it, but I'll never forget where I was like, because muscle weighs more than fat, and my professor looked me in the eye and was like, how does a pound weigh more than a pound? And I just remember being like, oh my goodness, you're right.
Think about these two phones right here, right? They can be, like, these are two different sizes. She has a bulkier case, but these phones can be made out of two different materials and be the same weight. Like, or think about two different pair of shoes. They can be the same weight. One might look bulkier, but since one is made of a lighter material, right, it can be literally the same size. But how you look at it and what that material is made of. Think of that material as your body composition, right? Your body is made up of more muscle than it is body fat. And then somebody can be the exact same weight, but they have a lot more body fat than they have muscle. So sort of think of it that way. And I think that'll kind of eliminate a lot of confusion.
We usually just try to address it when we see that because it sometimes will help. Like I saw you said, sometimes the scale gets discouraging, and absolutely it can. So sometimes that helps you to, if you do get discouraged by the scale, sometimes you can look at it and say, well, did I put on muscle or did I put on body fat? And the last thing I'll say about this, if you have access to a DEXA scan, highly recommend, because that's going to break down your muscle, your body fat, your water, your skeleton, and then you can say, hey, look at my DEXA scan, my weight went up, but my body fat went down and my muscle mass went up. You can see where that weight came from. So that helps a lot too.
And the scale doesn't account for so much. Like, I could drink this glass of water and be a pound heavier. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I could just step on the scale like, I'll gain a pound. Like,
and then go pee, and then you might be later. Absolutely. Absolutely. Someone asked, do we track our food? And short answer, no, unless we
and
like
summer ready we will.
Exactly. So for example, like summer ready, for probably like 2 weeks I'll track, because for me, especially I used to do bodybuilding competitions, I tracked so much in a prior time in my life that I can look at a chicken breast, I can look at different foods and know this, my meal has X amount of protein. And also we cook at home for majority of our meals, so we know my breakfast is usually the same, my lunch is usually the same, my dinner is usually the same. A protein, a carb, a fat. So we kind of have an idea of what we're eating. But if we're trying to reach a specific goal, we'll track, but we also may not track the whole 6 weeks, because we, again, are creatures of habit. If I track for 2 weeks and that is my food, I can eat like that the rest of the 4 weeks and know without tracking, like, okay, this is how much I'm getting, and still staying in a caloric deficit.
It's just intuitive eating. Like when you've been, and many of you who may have been tracking for a long time, if you track for a long time, you kind of get to a point where you know how much you're putting on your plate. You kind of can ballpark it, and you can eat intuitively knowing, especially if you're eating really clean, you can eat intuitively knowing that, like, all right, what I'm eating is actually helping my goals. And then you'll be able to listen to your body more too. Like you'll know when you're hungry. Like I'm to a point now where I know, like right now, I need more protein. I can feel it. We had a tough workout yesterday, and I just feel that I need more protein today to help me recover. So if you just need help with, just understanding what food you are putting into your body, tracking is very beneficial and helpful. And we have a nutrition guide within the Juice and Toya app that talks about tracking, and we'll give you some more information, especially as we get closer to the Summer Ready Challenge. But that nutrition guide covers different ways in which you can kind of track your foods to help you reach your goals. So.
Yes. So if you haven't tracked before and you're struggling to lose body fat, things aren't changing, we recommend tracking just for a couple weeks, just to see what am I eating. A lot of times we can be over consuming without really realizing it. So like sauces, coffee creamers, things like that.
For sure.
All of that adds up. So if you think you're in a 500 calorie deficit and all of that adds up to 500 calories, you're not in a deficit, right? So it's helpful. Do we recommend doing it forever? No, because it can be doing more harm than good. Exactly, like mentally for me, it used to get really bad. But yeah, it's not sustainable. It kind of prevents you from living sometimes. Like if you're going out to eat and you're like, oh, I can't eat that because I can't track it. Like when it gets to that, it's like we don't recommend that.
You get too obsessed over it. You know?
Yes, but if you're trying to reach a specific goal, like your 6 week challenge, and you're like, I want to lock in for this 6 weeks, definitely can be a helpful tool.
Bethy, aka Scooby86, says, I was at the same weight for months, but went down a size in tops and pants. And that is a common example of what changing your body composition means.
Yes.
Right? So I've had people, like I had clients, I told them to throw the scale away, because the scale can honestly deter you from reaching your goals. People get so discouraged about what a number says that they don't even see, I can tell sometimes with my clients, I see like your body is changing, but they don't see it because the psyche of the number is not allowing them to see their body, right? So that's a good example. Clothes will tell you how your body's changing, even though the scale is not, right? So choose different methods in which you measure your progress, and that's going to help you really understand how much you're actually making progress with your whatever program that you're doing. So
and then she also said that Nourish has great dietitians covered by health insurance. Yes, that is another thing, that if you are struggling with how foods make you feel, like if you're finding that like, I think I'm getting in enough protein, but I'm still not feeling good, or foods are giving you sensitivities or things like that, speaking with the dietitian, they can help you find what works best for your body and your activity levels. And there might be different needs in your nutrition as well, like vitamins and minerals and things like that. That is not something that we do, because that is a dietitian's job. We have degrees in nutrition. That is not our job to do that, because it would be doing you a disservice, because we we don't have that knowledge to tailor into you specifically when it comes to the breakdowns of food.
For sure.
I can tell you the role of protein, the role of carbs, the role of fats and things like that, but that is what a dietitian's job. The same way that if you had a broken ankle, you would go to PT. You would not come to me to assess that ankle, right? So while we can help you with your food, and I saw someone else said, what is clean eating? I can break that down for you all day long. But some bodies, individual bodies, need specific help in terms of different breakdowns and needs, or even like timing of foods and things like that.
Yeah, and like for example, me and her, we don't eat the same exact foods throughout it. Like we eat completely different. We live in the same household. Like obviously we eat similar lunch. I mean, we eat different breakfast, sometimes different lunch, and usually the only dinner that's meal that's specific to both of us is dinner, right? And we have different goals, right? So we eat completely differently. So that's what we want a lot of people to understand, and we're trying to teach you how to eat. And I saw someone ask, do you have a meal plan? And that is something that we will never put out a generalized meal plan, because as y'all can see, we have people from all over the world doing our workouts. Some people might not even have access to certain foods that we will even put inside of a meal plan, right? And everybody comes from different backgrounds. Everybody's bodies tolerate different types of food. So we created a general meal plan for everybody. We might be doing someone a disservice. We might be giving something to them that's inflaming them. You know what I mean? So we never want to do that. We want to teach you what foods work for you, and you can kind of build your own regimen that works for you and your body. So our goal is to teach you nutrition. That way you can really make it work for you.
And one thing, understand that it can take trial and error. Like it can take time to find what your body needs in terms, like people are like, how much carbs, how much fat, how much protein? It depends. It depends on your activity level. It depends on your body type. There's so much, and sometimes it can take some trial and error to find, like, for me, I don't do well on a high fat diet. I don't feel good. I feel more inflamed. I feel sluggish. I feel nauseous all the time. Whereas a friend of mine, that when I was competing, high fat diet was her thing, right? And so that doesn't mean if you tend to eat higher fats and lower carbs that you're doing something wrong, or vice versa. Everyone's body type is going to require different things. So just keep that in mind as well. So, cool.
All right, that's pretty much it. So I'm trying to see if we had any more questions. No. All right. Well, with that being said, just to kind of do a quick overview, we're going into week 4. If you haven't done the week 3's workout, it's the AMRAP. Go hard with that one. We're going into week 4, the second half of the running back challenge. So again, congratulations for all of you who made it this far. Keep going. We only got 3 more weeks left.
Yes. We've
seen a lot of progress. We've seen a lot of good posts within the community. We love the community feeds. It's just been helpful for a lot of people to see and keep them motivated as well. So keep up with that. Going into the Fresh Start Challenge, if you did the Fresh Start Challenge, we're choosing our own cash prize winners. We did not have any winners from the Solin picks, but we're going to pick some for ourselves because there were so many amazing transformations and a lot of testimonials that we just love. So we want to shout you out and acknowledge you. Also, don't forget, we're doing a giveaway in the Solin feed and on the Juice and Toya app feed. We're giving away a pair of Beats Power Beats Pro 2 earbuds.
There you go.
Comment what inspires you to move, hashtag run it back giveaway, and we're going to pick a winner on Sunday. And look out for the Summer Ready Challenge coming in April, mid to late April. That's all I'm going to say.
Cool.
Is that it?
That's it.
All right, cool.
All right, I'm going to be quiet now because Jakai's waking up, but thank you so much for joining us, and yeah, we'll see you all at the next one.
See y'all.